Alright. So, today. Oh, one sec. Something's not working. Already running into problems. Okay. There we go. Is that working? Yeah, that's working. Okay. So now I can show this again. Okay, so I'm gonna start just by going over today. I'm just gonna do a 5-minute warm-up drawing of some like basic shapes that I found on Line of Action, and then after that I've got some poses I'm gonna do just like basic shapes for to get like the proportions right, and then the same thing but with like more real anatomy. And then I also have just like I'm gonna focus on the torsos in different angles. So let's warm up first. One second. Actually, I forgot that I need to do one more thing. One sec. Because my tablet needs to get reset because I switched over to having 2 displays instead of just one. Okay, now we should be good to go. Yeah, alright, let's start drawing. Number 1. Just gonna try and get the basic shapes and just kind of be deliberate in my lines and just kind of get loose with it. Draw shapes in perspective. Don't know why I started there, but it's fine. Got a cylinder next. Some shadow under there. And then it is on top of another cube. Some kind of straight on so we don't see the top. And this is kind of like that. Okay, that looks pretty nice. And then over here's some weird like triangle. I wonder if I should have drawn like the ground first, but that's fine. There's that. Looks pretty good. And then we've got 2 spheres. I can draw circles, I promise. And there's that one. And then over here, can't tell what shape that is, but it looks like it has maybe another triangle. Looks like that. So that looks pretty decent. And we will move on now. This might take more than 5 minutes, but that's fine. Okay, this one. Let's start with this square one. Or I don't know if it's a square. Probably not. Probably more of a rectangle, but yeah. Then on top of it, it's got a sphere. And on this side, a rectangle. That's good enough. And you can see that side covering up the sphere. Kind of one. That looks pretty good. I actually want to move that like just over a bit. And then at the same level as this next one. And you can see the top a little bit. Really just to focus on like drawing basic shapes and like drawing from reference, just seeing what's there, getting the everything's position right, because it's going to get a lot harder when we're actually doing like real people, because it's a lot more complicated, obviously. It's good enough. Then over here there's another one. You can't see that much of the top. Okay, that one looks decent too. Number 3, it's more of a top-down angle, so we'll see more different shapes. So we have this cylinder that it's all resting on. Kind of see it like this. Kind of like that, maybe. Just straight lines down. It's a little shorter than that. Like that, maybe. And then most of this is covered up by like a half circle, semicircle. Right here. And then underneath them, there's this rectangular piece. And then we've got another sphere over here, kind of like that. And a triangle pyramid right there. You can kind of see that edge right there. There we go, pretty quick. This one's a little more complicated because it's got actual things, but I'm not gonna draw all these grapes. But we've got an orange. This shadow right there. A little, man, I don't know, fruit. There's something right there. See more at the bottom there. And then the lemon is over here. Looks pretty decent. So this grape goes like, not like that, kind of like this, maybe. And yeah, I'm not gonna draw that. You get the gist. And last one for just our basic shapes. Have a cylinder right here. Did not draw that great. Forget that. Right there, ish. And no, it's actually more like that. Because it's really just like straight on the side. And then this one's a little harder to do. Let's start with the actual face. Square right there, rectangle on the sides. Kind of see it connecting right there. So we can just draw that line. And yeah, kind of like that. It would be a little more on top of it, but that's fine. And then this thing, I'm not sure what kind of shape that is, but it just goes like this, and with one line. That one's not as good, but you know, it's decent. So that's it for our warm-up, and then I'm just going to start with some basic proportions. This is like a 360 turnaround I got from Line of Action. It's pretty useful. They have all sorts of poses of just like 360 for a certain pose, which is really nice. I'll definitely use that in the future. So I think what I'm going to start with is, because I'm really not as confident with like my proportions, I want to start by tracing over these maybe, and then I'll try to draw it myself next to it. Let me make my brush smaller. So we're going to have it, got kind of the head here, eyes, jaw. I mean, that's decent. And then, let's see. We don't need that much detail, actually. So, like, no, I'm not going to do that in the future. And then we have kind of this, the upper part, the rib cage, kind of goes like this. Sure, like that. Kind of have a center line going down. And then got like the pelvis part, kind of right there, maybe. Just connect those. It's really straight on this pose because I'm really just trying to get basic stuff. So we'll just draw like circles for the shoulders, maybe little stick figures, and just get all the joints. Because it's really just looking at like these arm lengths look about the same, you know, and the elbows are like right about where the rib cage ends. Just looking at the different proportions. Same with here. You can kind of see how big the legs are in comparison. They're about the same size, these two sections. And then the feet, or whatever, we don't care about those. So then over here, I'll just try to like recreate that with those simple shapes. Got kind of the head here. Get that rib cage in, maybe like that. And then we have hip or pelvis kind of there. So maybe I'm just drawing like really messy, just trying to get the basic idea down because I'm not trying to like draw anything for real right now. That looks about right. And we can just connect all this down the center. Like that maybe. Can I get the shoulders in? No, I mean the neck. And then yeah, the shoulders are like circles right here. Right about where the rib cage ends. It's where the upper arm ends, and then like right here-ish, underneath the pelvis. It's where the forearm ends. Alright, so that looks decent, right? I mean, we're just keeping it simple right now. And do I need to trace it again? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Maybe not for this one. I'll trace this one and then I'll go back to that one because I just want to get another feel, but there's something more interesting. So this kind of goes like that. And then we've got the rib cage. It's kind of like right there. It's kind of like this maybe. And then this is like upturned a little bit. It's kind of then can like connect it like this. We've got, it's a little hard to draw this like from the side. The shoulder is right there, right around where the rib cage ends is that upper arm, and then right below the pelvis is the lower arm. And here's the hands, and then let's see. I think the leg is about like from rib cage to pelvis. Well, maybe a little shorter. You get that knee, and then about the same exact length. Get the lower leg into the foot. So that's pretty simple. So let's draw that again, just on the side, see if I can get that right. Got a head, face comes out kind of in the middle, kind of like this maybe. Got like a rib cage right here, kind of like this, and then pelvis a little, probably closer than that, a little upturned, like this. Connect those like that, and then, yeah, the neck kind of goes like from the back of the head. And in this case, the shoulder is just like right there. Right here would be the elbow, right where the rib cage ends. And right below the pelvis is where our forearm ends. Get a hand in there. Yeah, kind of hard to tell the length of the leg. I'll have to get used to that somehow. But then about the same as the upper leg is the lower leg. And then we get the foot in there. That looks pretty decent. I mean, it does not look very pretty, but I think that is the correct proportions. So now I'm going to try drawing this one without doing that reference beforehand on the picture. We'll see how that goes. I'm actually going to do this on a new layer so that I can like move it over if I want to. So got a head right here, kind of coming at it like this. Torso, head's a little shorter. Torso, the rib cage is kind of here, I want to say. Kind of like this, maybe. And the pelvis is kind of here. Maybe a little higher up. But we'll keep that for now. And we kind of connect them like this. Shoulders are kind of right there. This, don't really see as much of that one actually. And then right where the rib cage ends is going to be our upper arm. Same over here. And right pelvis is going to be our forearm and our hands. Right there. That looks about right looking at the picture too. And then our leg, I'm just going to draw from the picture here because I'm still not sure how to measure the leg, but I'll get used to it in time, I think. And then same length-ish down here. And get some feet. That looks about right. But yeah, I am going to just move it over, see how I did. Looks pretty darn good. Looks like the left leg's a little shorter. I mean, arms aren't in the correct position, but it looks about right where the joints are. So I would say I am happy with that one. So I will go ahead and continue. I am going to redline from the back just because it's another like new position entirely. So let's try with that real quick. Got the head. Not really sure how to draw head from the back. And here's the cranium, and I assume the face kind of goes out underneath it, even though we can't see that. Got our rib cage, probably here-ish. A little square at the sides. Pelvis is just right here. Not doing anything fancy. Connect it all. Shoulders are right here. And then right at the end of the rib cage, that's our upper arm. Right below the arm. I guess it's a little more up here. Right here is where our lower arm will be. And knees are some unknown distance away. About same distance for our lower legs. See, I'm getting the hang of it. This is definitely, it's useful to talk out loud and actually focus on what I'm gaining from this. So let me redraw that on the side. Gonna get the head, the cranium, and then the face part kind of go out, even though we can't see it. Got a rib cage here-ish. And then the pelvis is kind of right there. Just draw it like that for now. Just kind of connect it with the spine. Got our shoulders over here. Then right at the end of the rib cage, it's the end of our upper arm. And right kind of level with the bottom of the pelvis, our lower arm. And I'm just gonna draw like the neck in this one because it looks weird without it. Kind of got the triangle traps right here. Let's go with. And then yeah, we have our knees and our upper legs, and then about the same length from there is the lower legs and the feet, which I'll learn to draw feet later. Don't worry about it. Yeah, and then I just have one left to draw. I will switch over to a female one just so I can get, equal practice. but I'm definitely starting to get the hang of this, so I'm glad I picked like a very static image. I was definitely having trouble earlier when I was trying to I was trying to go with like figure drawing stuff, so it was like dynamic poses, but I was having trouble with that because I didn't have like the basic understanding. So we have the head in. Gonna put in a rib cage, maybe here-ish. That looks fine. It's a little big, but yeah. And then the pelvis kind of tilted upward. We can see from this angle, kind of like this, and it'll be connected like that. Got our shoulders in here. You can see more of this one, less of this one. And then right at the end of our rib cage, gonna be our upper arm. Same over here. And right at the bottom of the pelvis is our forearm, right there. And then knees, kind of there-ish maybe. Same here. And about the same distance down is our lower legs and our feet. So yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of it. And I can even draw in like from the back of the head here. And we'll get like that triangle for the traps. Yeah. I can even draw that for the other ones. Like, wouldn't really see it here, but here we'd have like from the back of the head, the neck, and then we'd have our triangle, kind of like this. You wouldn't really see it on that side as much. I'll have to practice with like the front part of the neck because I don't know that part as much. I think it's kind of like you get like the collarbone in there, and you can see like the back of the traps peak. I don't think it's much more than that. But that is our male model done with proportions. So let's move on. Got a female model. This is once again from what's it called? Line of Action. They're 360 shots. It's very useful. There's a lot of different like body shapes, so it's good practice. I picked just like, I don't know, it's normal, whatever. But there's like all sorts of different sizes and looks of people, which is good to practice with. But okay, I'm gonna start drawing over this one once again, just to see if it's gonna be any different going from male to female. So we have like the cranium part here, and then the face coming out underneath it. We'll get our rib cage, probably a little skinnier on a woman, but about the same size. You can see that like curve there. Pelvis is gonna be right about there. Kind of like this. And then connect that spine. Get our shoulders in, same spot as before. And yeah, it looks about the same, like right at the end of the rib cage is where our elbow is. And right at the bottom of the pelvis is the end of our forearm. I guess I should draw the hands just to get the general size of them in my brain. And then it's like this person has like longer legs than the other one, I think. So I guess the legs will really depend, but for her, it seems kind of like, yeah, about the same size as like the upper part. And then kind of the same size for the lower leg. And get some feet in there. So yeah, that's decent. That's doable, for sure. I think we can get these ones out a little quicker now that I've got the hang of it. Got that circle, cranium, got the little face peeking out. Good enough. And then we got our kind of skinnier rib cage here. That little curve, and then our torso, pelvis. The whole thing's the torso. Pelvis kind of peeking out there. So with the spine. Got shoulders. And then right at the end of the rib cage. Right at the end of the rib cage, got our elbows. Right below the pelvis, we have the where the hands are gonna be, kind of that size. And then, what did I say? Like kind of from there to there, is where we're gonna get that like knee. That looks about right. And then like the same size from there. It's gonna be our lower leg. And our feet. So yeah, that looks about right. And I could probably also draw in some neck from like right under the jaw. And we can kind of see some of that triangle in the back. And probably get some collarbones there if I want to. So yeah, we're starting to get the hang of it, right? Oh, I'm getting tired. Okay. This side, the cranium is kind of this position. We'll see the front of the head, kind of like this, maybe. And then let's get our rib cage, kind of skinnier one. And we'll see kind of the curve in the front. And tilt in the pelvis from an angle. Not too much, but enough. Kind of like this maybe. Kind of connect them like that. Let's get our shoulders. See more of this one, kind of less of this one. Then we'll go right under the rib cage for this upper arm. And the end of the pelvis for this one. For this forearm. Kind of there. We'll get hands, just kind of general size of them. Doesn't matter what they look like right now. And then our legs are kind of here-ish. Kind of the same size down to the bottom. And get some feet, just basic shapes right now. We'll get to that later. And then yeah, we'll see kind of from the back of the head is the neck, kind of there. And maybe like right here. And we'll see some of this triangle from the traps. And then like the collarbones are like right there maybe. Yeah, it's, you don't see it as much on her. That's pretty decent. There's more poses here, and I'm probably not going to do all of them. I think I will skip this one, and I will just go to the side and the back for now, because I think that's what is most important right now. Because I am going a little over what I planned for drawing these. So here we've got our head, and then right kind of in the middle, face comes out, maybe like this. Draw an ear in there for fun. Okay, our rib cage is kind of tilted forward, kind of like this. Kind of see the side of it there. And this is tilted the other way a little bit. Maybe something like this. And it's kind of connected by the spine. I think our pelvis needs to move up a little. Maybe a little. That looks better, I think. Our shoulder is kind of just coming in straight. and we'll get our elbow right underneath the rib cage and right underneath our pelvis, right on the bottom here. We'll get that lower arm, that forearm. And then our knee, for us it's kind of going to be not that far, like here. We'll get that leg, and then kind of the same thing here-ish, and get some feet. I think I made the legs a little too short, but that's fine. Yeah, I'll just draw in, kind of see the neck go like back a little, come from the back of the head, and then from underneath the jaw, it kind of is going to connect here. And we'll get like that. That trap kind of goes like this. See a little bit of collarbone. So that's looking pretty decent. Stretch my hands a bit. My fingers are getting tired. Okay, now I'm just going to do the back. Just make sure we still got it. So got the head kind of here. And can't see it, but there's probably some face peeking out. And then our rib cage, a little skinnier for her. Kind of here-ish, maybe. And then the pelvis, kind of upturned here. Connect those. And we got our shoulders coming out, kind of there-ish. Right at the end of the rib cage, we got our elbow. Right here under the bottom of the pelvis, got our forearms. Get some hand in there, maybe. Just kind of general size. And then I'm gonna get kind of, whoops, right here-ish for the knee. And kind of the same distance for our lower leg. And get those feet, backs of those feet in there. And just for practice again, I'm gonna get the neck, kind of the traps in there. It's not so much on the women, it's a little bit like lower. But that's the general idea. Okay, so I think I am ready to move on from this basic stuff to trying a little bit more of the actual anatomy. So we're gonna start with one of these poses again, and I'm just gonna try and draw the actual, like, more detailed stuff, some of the muscles. So I'm just gonna start up here with just the basic straight on, and I'm gonna start drawing like I did before, just with, like, here's the head, right? But I'm gonna get in some of this, kind of get the eyes right there. And then our face, our jaw comes out a little bit like this. So I'm still not drawing anything like super refined or anything. I just want to get like more detail in. And I'm gonna get our rib cage first, kind of here. Kind of get our pelvis a bit. Something like this. Just messy right now. And I will fill in the details once I do that. Yeah, we're kind of just drawing the same thing again, but then I'm gonna go further. So let's start up here. We've got kind of from right here, from the jaw is where our neck comes out. Kind of goes down to here maybe. So, that's maybe a bit far. Down here maybe. And we kind of get our collarbones just resting right under there. And then from the back we see that triangle. Those traps, triangle. So here then our shoulder, it's not like the full circle, but you can kind of see it like jut out there, right? It's pretty decent for now. And then this is like a hard part to draw, is where like the pecs are and stuff. So let me fill in more of the proportions again. Get just our general shape in. for me to follow later. So I'm using the same measurements of like right below the rib cage, right at the bottom of the pelvis. Is where we're gonna see those arms, and then I'm just gonna look at the photo to see where about the knees are, and kind of same size-ish, same length is where our lower leg goes. Kind of just get triangles in there for now. So actually, yeah, I'm gonna, oh, that's not what I want. Make this part its own layer, and then I will put it down just a bit so that I can get more details in here. So I'll keep the jaw area, keep this head shape, and I will keep this neck and in here, and then we get our collarbones, see some trap, and then we get like our little shoulder bump, right? So then here, you can kind of look over here and see like where about these pecs are gonna come in, and they're kind of like connected to this upper shoulder a bit. It kind of like goes like this maybe, right? So maybe like this is where those pecs are. Let's finish rounding out these shoulders. This is it's the deltoid, I think. So this part goes like that, and then we've got, let's get in like the rest of this. There's gonna be our abdominal group right here, and then from the side, or I'll draw the arms first, because you can kind of see here, like the arm is in front of that part. Like the pecs are in front here, but then the arm is in front, and then the torso. So I'm gonna draw in some arm muscles. Kind of got it's hard for me to tell at this point, so I'm not gonna try drawing like the biceps versus triceps yet, because I haven't like gone over that as much. That'll be like a week 2 thing when I really focus on arms. For right now, we're just gonna get a general shape in there, and then same over here. Just kind of get some of this going and make sure it's like in front of the torso there, and then we can kind of fill out here. We can get these muscles, and it just kind of goes down into the pelvis area. Not putting any real detail in here, really just trying to get like basic shapes. So here's like our hips, and we can kind of see here there's like this area. Can kind of maybe get that in a little bit. There's like this, and then it goes into the hips. It's looking decent, right? So let me get these forearms in. It's kind of like a diamond kind of shape, right? Like that, maybe. Same over here. Don't really see as much of the diamond here, but it's just like this. And then, where to next? Let's maybe draw these legs in. So we kind of get like this line along the pelvis where the legs actually attached. Connect this here. Our upper part of the leg, just kind of maybe like this shape. Same over here. Get kind of a maybe like that. Doesn't look super great, but it's good enough for now. Just learning, just trying. I'm not sure how to draw like the joints in this position. Or not in this position. Like I don't know how to draw the joints at all. But We'll try. I'll just draw the second part of the leg. It's kind of a diamond like up top, like this. And same over here, we kind of see go out a little and then kind of come in like that. Yeah. Man, he does not look super good, but we trust the process, right? We're just getting the hang of it. And I'm, like, once again, I'm not trying to have beautiful lines or anything. I am just, like, scribbling right now. I'm just trying to get the hang of it. I'm not trying to make it look super good. So I think we kind of have, for feet, we can just kind of do, like, the heel. It's got kind of an arch here. Maybe like that. Kind of the same here, we get, like, that heel poking out. And then we got like this little arch at the bottom. It's decent, right? And yeah, I mean, it's decent. I think I will try. Don't have that much time left. For sake of time, I'm gonna switch over to the female for this one. And I will also just draw from the front on. So we're gonna start with, once again, just basic proportions. So let's get like our cranium. We'll get kind of the, here, I'll draw this. Get the eyes kind of in the middle of that circle, the middle of the cranium part, and then we'll get our jaw coming out here, and like this. Have ears on the side. Alright, and then let's get our rib cage kind of going in kind of here. Get our curve there. And then our pelvis is kind of right there, maybe. Kind of just like this. And we can connect those. So up here we're going to have our shoulder joints. Shoulders, make them even as possible. Below our rib cage we're going to get our elbows. And right below the pelvis, our forearm ends. We get some hands, just basic shapes for now, because I'm not drawing hands right now. And and then yeah, we'll just kind of get knees from the front of the picture for now. Kind of just draw about the same length to the lower leg. And just some feet for now. And then let's turn the opacity down on this so I can kind of draw more detail on top. I'm gonna make my pen a little smaller if I can, just 'cause, yeah, I like that better. Okay, so let me just rehash that kind of jaw area. It doesn't need to be pretty, I know. We'll just kind of get it in there. And then let's get some neck in. So for the woman, it's going to be a little closer in from the jaw. Maybe like here, a little further out there. And we just kind of get like this area where the collarbones meet it right here. And then we kind of see the trap from the back, kind of like this. And it kind of meets right there with our shoulder. So here's our shoulders. That looks pretty decent. And then let's get, so we kind of get this area is where it like connects to the armpit part, right? Actually, it's probably a little lower than that. It's like over here. And let's finish those shoulders out just a little bit. Kind of get those deltoids. Okay, so then here's like the center, and then the pec would be like kind of like this, and then we kind of get the breasts on top, kind of like that maybe. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go, but I think that's correct anatomically, about correct, good enough correct. So then yeah, we'll get our arms kind of coming out. So after this deltoid, we kind of get this arm just kind of pretty straight, and then this part's kind of a diamond like the legs were. So here we just kind of get pretty straight, and then a little bit out from the elbows is our forearm, kind of like that maybe. Doesn't look super pretty, but it is functional. So then underneath this armpit part and underneath this arm, we'll see our torso come in. It's a little skinnier for her. And then, okay, so for the women, it kind of goes, you kind of see this curve up here, right? It goes out to the hips, to the pelvis. So we'll kind of have our legs connecting like this. Just like fill in that part of the pelvis. Here is where we would have like our ab group. And then on the sides, there's this part. And then we kind of go in like that. Kind of like this maybe. That looks about right. Legs kind of just get a shape in for that. Kind of like this maybe. They're pretty simple. Then we get our triangle, or not a triangle, our like diamond shape for these calves. Kind of going out and then in, kind of like this. So yeah, and then our knees, just kind of connect them. And our foot, can't really see the heel in this position, but there would be a heel and then the kind of the arch to those toes. A little hard to draw when it's just straight on like this. Okay, so that's like a little bit more anatomy for a woman. And then, alright, so the next thing I wanted to do was just have a little bit more focus on like the torso area, because I think that's pretty important to figure out how to draw. It's where a lot of the joints are. So I'm just going to pick a few of these. I've already drawn straight on like this, so I guess I haven't done from the back, but I should do that one. So I'll do this one, and this one looks pretty good also. Or no. So this one, and this one. And then get the one with the arms raised. And we'll see if I have more time after that. So let's start just right here. Let's kind of see where the head is up here. And we'll get the rib cage is just going to kind of be like this maybe. We don't see any of the rib curve because it's not there, but it's kind of in the back. And then our pelvis is just straight down from here, kind of like this. But we're not going to go any lower than that because that's not what we're focusing on right now. so let's do, it's got kind of a curve going in, just connecting them, got kind of that curve, and then, so yeah, here's our neck from the back of the head, our traps right here, just like a big old triangle right there. And actually, I should have drawn the shoulders in here, because it goes from like the neck to right around the shoulders, so it's a little wider. So our shoulders go in right there, and we'll kind of see, even though the shoulder starts there, if you like look here where we actually see the line, this kind of goes through there. But yeah, we'll see like our little curve where the shoulder is, and we'll maybe see some separation here between the shoulder blades. We'll get right here is where elbow is. Yeah. That part's not so important. Okay, this one has got a little more interesting pose. So we kind of see some head here, some face sticking out. Like this maybe. And then we kind of get our ribcage going to be kind of at an angle here. And we'll see some like this maybe. And then yeah, our pelvis is just kind of like this. Kind of connected like there. It's kind of like straight on. And our shoulder is up here. We get kind of our elbow back here-ish. Connect those. Okay, so now here I can draw from the back of the head is where like the neck is gonna come out. Maybe from like right around the jaw, in the middle of the jaw. And then, so it's a little skinnier than that. And then we'll see how this trap here kind of goes to the shoulder. And then it kind of goes down a little bit. Oh, we don't really see it because the shoulder's in the way. And then this is like where it is connected to, where the neck is connected to the rib cage. Here's where the rib cage is. And then let's just define some of this. Like the shoulder area, it's kind of like up here. So we see this shoulder mostly. Kind of this deltoid here, taking up that space. And the rest of the arm comes out from it. And maybe some elbow there. Well, next week, or maybe later this week, it will be more focused on the individual parts of the body, so we'll learn more about how to draw arms and stuff. Right now, I'm really just focusing on, torsos right now, but like the basics of proportions and what kind of the body looks like in general. So here we have like a curve. The front is pretty flat itself, just kind of going down to the pelvis. But what I'm interested in here is how this like pec attaches. So we kind of get this right around where like the deltoid is where it like attaches to that armpit right there. And then it just kind of comes like that. So this is kind of less intense. Yeah, something like that. Kind of got intense. It's around like this. And this kind of like where those lateral muscles would be. Oh, almost done. 2 more. Okay. An hour a day is kind of a lot. But it's worth it, I think. Because I'm already telling, I can already tell that I'm improving. So, let's see. This one's a little more complicated. We see some of the head here. Let's use that as like a reference. And then, so this rib cage is kind of tilted to the side here, maybe like this. But we'll see it kind of here-ish, kind of like this maybe. Is where our rib cage is. And then our pelvis is kind of tilted like this. Actually, a little hard to draw that in. And connect it like that. So he's kind of doing a little twist to stretch that arm up. You see this shoulder is just down right there. But this shoulder is going to be like up here. So this will be more interesting to draw. So let's see, let's get the neck in first. We kind of get from the shoulder, we get the triangle shape. So that'll be useful to use. It's that triangle shape, and then we get just kind of the neck coming down from the head, kind of meeting at this junction. And then we have this deltoid kind of connecting here, and we can see where the pecs kind of attach up there and then come just kind of like this. And we're going to see it kind of coming out on top over there. And then here's our other shoulder. It's kind of in a normal pose. Kind of here's where the elbow would be. So we get this delt and then into the arm. And it is kind of connected there. Here's like where our torso is. We get kind of a bend here where it's gonna attach. And then this one kind of goes down. You can see the here like is where our ab group would be, kind of coming in there. So this is just like attaching to the side of that. And then this just comes down into the pelvis. I can definitely feel myself getting the hang of it, like looking at that one. Able to better like draw it in 3D shape now. So this one, last one, almost done, 3 minutes. Okay, top of the face, coming down here. Get our rib cage in here. Kind of get that curvature there. We've got our pelvis kind of like straight on actually. And just kind of attach that because he's like stretching up in this one. So we've got both shoulders kind of popping up here. So let's do, like here's where our triangle would be attaching the shoulders. And then we get the neck coming down into that. And here we get, it looks kind of like that because this is where our deltoid is. And from that top of that deltoid is where these pecs are kind of coming from up there. You can kind of see that. And then, let's see, deltoids, kind of get the bicep in there. I'm not really focusing on that. So here is like our armpit area, kind of connecting to the back, actually, right there. It's like where your shoulder blade is in the back. Here also kind of get some bicep, and then this is the end of our deltoid into like the shoulder blade, right there. So here, let's get like under these pecs, we get like our ab group down to the pelvis, and then it just kind of, here's our lateral muscles connecting to that, and then down into the pelvis, kind of like this, is where our hips are. I mean, yeah, that's looking pretty decent. And that is kind of it for today. So today we went over, just did some basic shapes. I think that was a good warm-up for drawing in forms in 3D. And then I went on to do proportions. That was definitely very helpful. Especially going like the red line over at first, and then, you know, to get the hang of where everything is in position. And then, I know it doesn't look like super pretty, but getting this more anatomy in from the reference, and then our torsos, I'm definitely starting to get the hang of it. But yeah, so that was it for today. If you want to watch more, I think on Thursday, I will be doing more anatomy. I'm not sure what exactly yet. Maybe more dynamic poses or something. So if you want to watch, tune in same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. And then on Sunday, I will be doing like a real piece, a real drawing, just kind of using what I've learned from this week, which is anatomy. So yeah, I hope you liked, and I hope it was helpful to see kind of my process for learning this. Bye bye.